What's the word, people? It's your boy Boogz, man, and welcome to the School of God Dots. All right, and in this video, we're gonna be breaking down. This is gonna be kind of like one of those videos. This that Daniel son, Mr. Miyagi type moment where you think we about to get in here and start doing the moves like kicking roundhouses and all that, and we not about to pass the ball at all. We're about to focus on the most important thing. We about to wax on, wax off. You feel me? We about to wax on, wax off, and get it right and get it done correctly. Most important thing to passing is protection. You can't protect your quarterback, then what good is a dot? What good is it to have a dot if you can't protect your quarterback? So let's focus on pass protection, man. So this video is gonna be a full, complete breakdown of how to protect your most valuable asset. The guy that has the ball the most. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. First off, what I'm gonna do is explain something before we even pick a play. I'm gonna explain something before we get into the actual action. I'm gonna show you guys some specific, very, very specific things. One, I want you to pay attention to the play art on the screen right now. See how on the speed option, it's a run play. On on the run plays, you're going to see the T's. You see the offensive line, the blocking. The T's on the linemen are pointed up. They're going towards, they're attacking the defensive line. Why? Because it's like run plays. They're running right at the defensive line, the linebackers, or whoever is in front of them. So the key to it is when you're looking at the T's, you also have you have little subtleties in every particular play. So you got passing plays. One, if you're trying to protect your quarterback from like A gaps and stuff like that, you got to understand the type of plays that has value. Okay, so it's not just about picking plays for play's sake. It's about understanding which plays have value and why they have value. So you got short drop back plays, like a stick concept. Stick concepts is normally like 1, 2, 3 step drop back plays. Those plays are typically really good against blitzes. Those are really good against blitzes sometimes. A lot of you guys are like, oh, I'm getting nanoed and screamed A gapped and B gapped and all this other stuff. Well, you don't really understand the game and how it typically works. So a lot of times the short drop or the short step, this is a tongue twister. Anyway, the 2, 3 step drop back plays are typically really good in pass protection for like, especially for like the A gap plays and stuff like that. For some reason, I found that a lot of those type of plays are really good against A gaps, B gaps, stuff like that. So like if I'm labbing defense, I'm also labbing against plays like the sticks of the world. Can I get my pressure to come in against those? So number one, short drop back plays like a stick are really good for protection. That's one. Before we even get into the slides and all that. Two, then you have your regular, your 5 and 7 step drop back plays. Those are typically the plays that has deeper routes. The plays that the routes are further downfield. Those plays like that. But the best pass protection you're going to get typically in any Madden, any football game, college football, Madden, whatever, is typically going to come from play action plays. That has always been the rule of thumb for how to protect your quarterback. Your rule of thumb has always been use play action plays. So when we look at play action plays, there's also different types of play action plays and blocking systems. You see the play action play PA4 has the T's where it's coming back towards the quarterback. So there's a drop back in those particular plays. And then you have play like this PA slide where the T's are going up like it's a run play. Those plays, you cannot slide the line. So you can't slide the line on those. The ones that are typically the best are the ones that you can slide, like a PA fork and stuff like that. The ones you can't slide, sometimes it get a little murky. But all in all, play action plays are going to be ones you can block the best. You're going to be able to block pretty much any blitz using a play action play. You're going to typically get the best pass protection using a play action play. When you use play action plays, you're going to get the best pass protection, whether it's against a blitz, a shed defense, whatever. Now, I don't typically use the actual play action animation. Like, we're not trying to follow through with a play action animation. We're typically going to just go ahead and block our running back, or sometimes we're going to send 5 out and send that running back out through a play action play and still get better protection. it's typically harder to A gap, B gap, play action plays. So those are always plays that you want to have in mind. So you always want to kind of find a play action play that has some good routes on the field. But we're not going to focus on that yet. We're not going to focus on the routes part. We'll get into that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, this is passing 101. Think of it as like we in college. You on level 101 right now. All right. We on the basic of the basics. So let's actually go ahead and jump into it now and look at an actual play. So first, we're just going to pick mesh spot. So let's go ahead and pick mesh spot. We're going to pick it against one of the most popular defenses, which is a mid blitz 0. So they're sending 6. So obviously, if they're sending 6, somebody should come in. So we got to block somebody, right? So we're going to consider all this with actually blocking. So you see the base pass protection. This is the base pass protection. So if you go and you pull up your pass protection screen, which is LB on Xbox, L1 if you're on PlayStation. So if you do empty, this is the kind of pass protection you get. You get this little, the funky, blocking and stuff like that. It's good. You're not going to allow, you see how they aren't going to allow those guys. It's kind of like a 5 wide pass protection, on, so to speak. You see, they're not really going to allow anybody to come through the A gap. They're not going to allow anyone to come through the A gap, but you see, somebody comes off the edge. I block my running back. Now, what you don't really want is the reason why I don't like that as a ideal pass protection. It could work against a 5-man defense that's not coming off the edge. So if it's like a 5-man that's coming through the A gap, B gap, then that's more of a protection you'd want. Then you have the base, which then just blocks the running back and keeps the standard basic pass protection that's already set up with this particular defense. And you see right there, we got screamed at. Orgy is just a dog. You know what I'm saying? What more do you expect from a big blue guy? What you really want when you have a running back in the backfield, what you typically want, you never really want your running back to have to turn his back or go around you as the quarterback as pass protection. That is never ideal. You never want your running back to have, because then now you're going to have to showcase elite pocket and you're going to miss reads, and then there's more probability for mistake. So you never want to have to do this. Well, right there, I actually forgot to block my running back. So let me go ahead and do it again. So we're going to pick that empty again. And then we're going to block our running back. So we're going to pick empty again. So you see how I bumped into the running back because he's trying to get behind me. You want the running back to be able to get and attack the guy directly in front of him. All right. So this is where the full slide and the half slides come into play. So if our running back is on our right side, then what we want to do is full slide to the left. And as you can see, a full slide is where the entire offensive line is sliding a specific direction. So I went full slide left because my running back is on the right. So then what we want to do is ID the last guy on the defense that you're expecting to be blitzed. So here is going to be that right of screen defensive end. So we're going to ID him as the Mike. So now the running back is going to target and focus on him coming in towards the quarterback. So we fully slid our line. So we're expecting our offensive line to pick up all 5 of these guys that are on. So the 3 defensive linemen on the left and the 2 linebackers in the middle standing in the A gap. We're expecting the line to pick up him and then them to allow that guy on the right, number 17, to just come in free. And then we're expecting our running back to chop him or pick him up. So exactly like so, it worked. That's beautiful protection. Even though we got screened at, it is practice mode. And they are going to shed, but it worked perfectly. It worked exactly how we wanted it to work. Number 17 was the guy that came in. The line fully slid to the left. Everyone slid to the left, picked their guy up. Running back just got hurdled. And then, that's, you need your running back to do his job. If he does his job, then we got a much better pocket because then we can now kind of step up in that pocket but we can't step up in the pocket because 17 is coming. So it's like at that point we would have probably had to scramble right up in between number 65 and 75, straight up the A gap, and try to just get as many yards as possible. But that's kind of how that worked there. Also, you can do a half slide. So what is a half slide? A half slide is going to slide half the line, either right or left. So it's going to slide so if you half slide left, it's going to slide the left side of the line just left. And if you half slide right, it's going to slide the right side, and that's including the center. So the center and the right side, or opposite left side. And then it's going to put the running back in a check and release, who will block, but I'm not the biggest fans in check and release because they'll let go of their guy at the most inopportune time. So they'll block them, and then at the last moment, let them go. And then sometimes you'll end up getting sacked. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Right there, he tried to target him. You never really want that. That was a half slide. We're going to do it again. Half slide left. We're going to ID the Mike this time, so the running back can focus on this guy. So he's going to focus on him. That time he held on to him. He didn't let go. Sometimes they will just let him go. I would not recommend it. I do not recommend. But you see, half slide left, and then it puts the guy on a check and release. So you're going to have to play, depending on the particular blitz that you're going up against, you're going to have to play with your slides. So, but you really want to be very attentive and really focused on what your opponent is doing defensively, and then figure it out. Don't just snap plays for play's sakes. You know, you want to have protection for your quarterback. So do it again. If I do use a half slide, what I like to do is after I do my half slide, immediately after you do the half slide. So the first thing you want to do when you come out of the huddle and pick your play, you do your protection. The game will allow you to do your protection and block your running back instantly. That's one thing you can do. So first thing I'll do is coming out of the huddle. If I know what defense my opponent's running, I'll come out and do my half slide. So let's say I'm doing my half slide left, and then I'll immediately block my running back, and then I'll ID the Mike. So now my running back is blocking. I'm half sliding, and then we have our protection. Boom. Just like so. We still got shedded, but that doesn't matter. What matters most is getting the protection and making sure you protect your quarterback and not getting insta-sacked. All right? If we can't make a play here, once you see that right there, you can scramble and roll out to the right side. Like, we got a perfect blocking right there where we were able to easily roll out to the right side. We can easily roll out to the right on this play here. We've gone ahead, we've chop blocked, we've got a beautiful pass protection there on a half slide, and then it just worked perfectly. We just got shedded. So then, did not mean to back out of that play. We're going to go right back to it. But then you have double team and max protect. What is max protect? Max protect is going to block everybody that is eligible to be blocked, which is going to be any tight ends on the line and any running backs that are on the field, in the backfield. So if you go back, max protect, up on the right stick, then what you're going to do is going to block everybody like so. So now it's blocking the entire team. And even with max protect, you can do max protect, right? So let's say you want to save yourself a click. You can max protect them first. Now you don't have to go and individually go press your coverage adjustments or route adjustments, right? So you don't have to go ahead and do that hot routes and pick A and then block him, and then B and block him. You don't have to do that. You can just hit max protect, right, as a way to quickly get it a set up and adjust it. Then if you want to slide your line left, you can slide them left, full slide right. Everybody's going to shift to the right. Or you can slide, half slide left, half slide right. Or you can go empty here, go full on empty. You see, when you go empty, your running back goes out on a route. Also, that's another thing that you want to keep in mind. When you are using these pass protections, half slide, push your running back on a delay blue. Empty, push your running back on a swing route, because it's considering everybody to be going out on a route. And full slide, just blocks your running back. So if you do a full slide, if you do full slide left or right, it's going to slide your offensive line plus block your running back. So that's what it will do. So right here, like I said, we doing the slide. We max protect, slid it left. So I don't really recommend just doing max protect. I think you should always, if your opponent is blitzing you, doing any kind of gap blitzes or anything like that, you want to slide either left or right, depending on where your running back is. That's the ideal situation. There are some blitzes, and I mean some, it's very rare, where you'll have to slide away from your running back, like slow, like slide towards your running back on the same side your running back is on, and then ID the opposite side. But like I told you, that is not ideal. You never want your running back to have to come across your body, because then he could then bump into you, mess you up, end up causing you to get sacked, turnover, something back, and end up happening. You always want your running back to have to block directly in front of him. So I showed you half slide, which is left bumper or L1 on PlayStation. You pull up the pass protection screen. Empty is up on your left stick. Full slide left or right is left or right on your left stick. Your base is just down, which doesn't change the protection. It just blocks your running back and keeps the same pass protection that was already existing in whichever play that you picked. Half slides either side of the field, plus push your running back on a check and release. Max protect blocks everybody. Then now you have double team. Sometimes you may have to double team. You use double team for a lot of different reasons. You might use double team because you are trying to roll out, maybe you're trying to roll out, or sometimes double teams are typically really good solutions for picking up the unblockable blitzes. The blitzes that you feel like are unblockable, typically you have to double team somebody on the line, and it will pick up that blitz guaranteed. Double team is a great feature for that, because what it will do is it basically chooses who's going to get double team. So if I double team this in here, or this D tackle here, what's going to happen is, so what I'm full sliding to the left. One, you got to count your numbers. So if they're sending 6, I have 5 offensive linemen and a running back. You double team and they're sending 6 and you're only blocking 6, that means somebody's going to come free. So I'm full sliding to the left and double teaming this D tackle and then IDing this end. Somebody's going to come free if you double team while, 6 versus 6. So that end came in, your running back, he's protecting the guy that can get to you the fastest. He protected your A gap. So that linebacker shot right through, which he should have, because what's going to happen is, as you can see, when you double team, it's going to double team. So your 2 linemen right there. So if you're full sliding to the left, that means 78 is going to take 1, 68 is going to take 91 here, 51 is going to take this middle linebacker here, number 9. All right. And then who's going to double team 53? Obviously, those 2 linemen, the 2 linemen. So that's how you figure out who's going to double team who and who's going to come where. So now your running back has to choose between that middle linebacker and that end. Obviously, I ID'd the end, but you see, he was intelligent enough to say, nah, we're going to go ahead and save the quarterback. He went straight to the A gap, saved us, and we got edge, screamed that off the edge. Now, if we block our tight end now it's 7 versus 6. Now we'll have a beautiful double team. Now what's going to happen is the tight end and the tackle are going to double team that defensive tackle, and the running back should pick up the end. So here we go. Boom. You see how the running back picked up that end right there? The tight end was now there, because now we have the numbers. This is a numbers game. It's simple math. 7 versus 6. Now we can utilize the double team feature. You never want to utilize the double team feature when you know your opponent is sending more than you're blocking. Typically, we utilize the double team feature when our opponent is sending 5 or less. We don't really double team with 6 or more. It's typically not what you're going to do unless you're going to block 7. You know what I'm saying? So that's really kind of how you want to utilize the double team feature. So now that I've shown you guys the slides with the basic plays or the regular pass protection plays, now let me show you guys what it's like with the play action plays. So like I told you at the top of the video, you have a play like this play PA double shot where the tease is pointing up. You're not going to be able to slide this line. You look at the line, you see the protection when you pull up the play arc, you see the protection. They're going to attack their guys immediately because they're trying to confuse the defensive line and make them believe that it's a running play. So they're attacking immediately as if it was a run play, because run protection and run blocking is different than pass blocking. So I never leave the play action animation. I pull up the hot route screen, go to my running back RB, and I block him with right trigger. So right trigger or R2 on PlayStation. So you cannot slide. So we're going to go full slide left. Full slide left, you see it doesn't change. Half slide right, doesn't change. But the running back is changing. The running back is going on his delay flat. So you cannot slide it. It does not slide. It's not going to show you it's sliding on the screen, but it does give it somewhat of a slide, even though it doesn't show it on the screen. It gives it a little bit of a slide. You see how much better that pass protection was and how they were holding on their protection in itself. You guys have seen me have great pass protection as far as everybody getting picked up, but you haven't seen them hold their blocks that long. Those play action plays give you, it's just special with the blocking that they give you. So when you look at it, you see how we were just able to have way more time. Like they're really just fighting way more. Now they still got shedded because it's practice mode. Practice mode sheds is just a different beast. So that's with the PA double shot. Now let me show you guys what it looks like against a play action play that has the tees coming back towards the quarterback, the pass protection tees. You see this PA slide play, it has a very unique, it has two guys attacking and then one guy and then four guys dropping back in regular pass protection. Let me find a play action play. Okay, so PA fork. So let's go ahead and pick PA fork here. You see PA fork has pass protection or pass blocking tees. So when you pick it, now you see I go full side left, they give me the full slide. On this play, I'm not going to ID the end on the right. We're just going to see what happens and what the running back does. So let's see. He perfectly picked Wood. He got destroyed, but he targeted the right guy. He targeted the right guy, and that's one of the things you'll notice with the play action play. See, I'm not going to do the running back. I'm not going to use this play action animation because you can get screamed at by doing this. Your opponent pass commits, then you're going to get sacked because you're too busy putting your running back in the animation and he's not targeting anyone. You want him targeting immediately. That's why you want to go ahead and block him. Make him pass block, slide protect, boom. We got slide protection. He picked this guy up. Nice pass protection and a play action play. Play action plays are king, especially in college football 25, and I fully expect it to be the exact same way in Madden 25. So we will have a video on that in Madden 25 to break down pass protection in its entirety and how you should really focus on it. But really what you really want to focus on is every little detail. One, we don't want our running back running across our body. That's for one. Two, you may have to half slide or full slide depending on the blitz. Depending on what blitz your opponent is doing. Utilize your half slides and full slides. Also, make sure you're IDing. Don't be lazy, people. If you're getting screamed at, maybe you did not ID the mic. You want to ID the guy that needs to get picked up there, okay? You want to ID him. Right, like I said, practice mode, you're going to get shedded. They're going to do crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, can you consistently pick up the blitz? And that's the most important thing. You're getting a hat on a hat. That's the goal with pass protection, to get a hat on a hat. And from there, it's up to you as a quarterback. It's up to you as a quarterback to make the right plays and the right decisions. But first off, you want to put your quarterback in the best position, and that's the key. Pass protection is king. It's the most important thing for passing. That's passing one-on-one right there, man. Protecting your prize, protecting your most valuable asset. So we want to really make sure we're doing that right there. That's the most important thing, is protecting our quarterback. All right. So you guys can see, you want to mix in all those things, and then, like I said, worst case scenario, we double team. You double team if your opponent is sending 5 or less. That's always how you want to look at it. If your opponent's sending 5 or less, then you start to utilize that double team feature. Okay, you always want one more body than they are sending. If you don't have one more body than they're sending, then you don't really want to do it, unless you can use the double team feature. If you're rolling out and you know you're fine with like letting the guy come through the backside, pause. But you get the point. Like, if you're trying to let somebody come, God, it's bad. All right, if you are okay with that guy just going free and roaming free and chasing you from behind, and you rolling out to an opposite direction, all right, cool, that makes sense. But if you plan on standing in the pocket and delivering dots, you don't want to double team if you're blocking the same amount or less than your opponent is sending. All right, so that's pass protection 101. That's passing 101. Welcome to Got Dots. All right, they don't call me Big Dot Boogot for no reason, people. All right, so we starting right here. This is the wax on, wax off. We're gonna keep it going and break it down even further. Don't you worry. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, stick with me, boys, because we got a whole lot more hot sauce for you guys. We're gonna be make sure everybody that watches this video is dotting in no time.